Yeah?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Do it.
We're talking about.
User left your channel.
You having a job?
I don't.
User left your channel.
I just don't. The only thing that happens is I get lost. But I'll eventually get there and I'll kill everything. That's a promise I'll keep.
I'm excited, man. I don't get to fucking shoot shit ever.
Just hold the line till I get
a
there.
bag and an altar. I'm happy.
That's it.
Just feeling
And
good.
if you see me in a
It's her first time offense that was not violent at all. And she got life in prison without the possibility of parole. Which was really crazy. How long has she been there? 21 years.
I've got
6 months ago, I stumbled across a story of Alice Marie Johnson.
110 over. Copy that.
Yeah, we're gonna have 4 rounds. I can only carry 2. Yeah, I get.
I first started retweeting the story, and I just kept on watching it over
I'll
and
get my
hearing
guys to
how
carry 1
unfair
each.
she is, and hoping that I could reach out and be fucking movement. You have a email.
I hope you have that bump tape too. So it doesn't automatically come down.
If it weren't him, then it would be I sent it. Yes.
Yep.
Looks glorious.
Oh, I got the cliffs. Got all the cliffs.
Alpha is ready to be
Roger.
Don't be so
Alpha's also.
Hey man, just making sure I remember how to put this bitch together.
The glue takes the best pictures.
Oh, there's a vote of confidence there, Charlie. Dude, that clue is like...
1-4, this is Delta, we're ready to go. Over. Roger.
Bro, let's go again.
No, I'm good.
Charlie, you guys good?
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Mike, you good?
It's all good.
Mike is good.
Fucking King Italian knots over here.
You have got
Oh,
Alright, Charlie, do you draw? You good to go?
Yeah, dude, bro. Yeah.
Wonderful.
User joined your channel.
That's what you want, a bunch of
User joined
stoners
your
with
channel.
explosives.
User left your channel.
Right to the stoner.
Hey, I took my
Poking
best
fun at our resident fucking hippie here, huh? We got problems.
That's why I got that bad nape hair. Wasn't allowed to grow my
No problem with the hippie, just makes sense he has the thing that has a lot of smoke.
User joined your channel.
bong joke. That's a good one. I get it.
User joined your channel.
1-4, who do you want grabbing incendiaries, or do you have both of them?
I have both of them.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me on
So if we need to
1.1?
get back to this.
Was that the Skype you were talking about?
Yeah, you get the fucking stupid hokey
thing in the
bullshit.
world? Yeah.
Delta, are you able to grab one around? What
Look
is that?
It's the fucking worst,
What
dude.
the fuck is that, bro? Ew.
bro.
Ew. Fucking disgusting, bro.
Hey, Connor, make sure, hey, y'all get ready. Alright, now. Alright, open your
Yeah,
eyes.
nothing's better than the fucking Mirage fucking optics.
Alright, close your eyes.
Yeah?
Now,
What?
Stop pointing rifles at each
I know, it's fucking great, right? Don't worry about it.
Bro, he fucking...
Come on, bro.
He found that shit at Goodwill. He got that off a fucking Red Rider.
I got a guy. Hey, you can get to a kid, too.
How many were you able to get, Delta?
Same guy.
Don't open my backpack. You never know what you find.
That's why we were the big.
I brought my tactical. I brought my tactical toddler.
I'm gonna put that back.
Potion seller. I need your finest potions.
1-1, this is Mike, over.
Why are you behind me?
Copy that.
Fucking right by this tree, bro.
Yo,
I'm gonna handle that.
Oh, I regret this every day.
Hey, Sergeant O'Connor.
Hey, Sergeant Archer.
Hey, do you think 1-4 has enough eye growth for today? Looks a little lacking.
It is. Severely lacking.
One mic, this is 1-1 mic, ready to check over.
1 mic, 5 on 42 over.
God, 1-4 is really going to hell in a handbasket.
First off, only cultured people have this.
It's just tahini.
Fuck. Peanut butter? No. Peanut butter, ramen, maybe an egg.
Connor had to walk away.
Where's he going? Come on back. Stick with me.
Associating with 1-1-3 now.
Are y'all able to carry any of them mortar shells?
Can I say no?
I'm not asking if you want to, I'm asking if you can.
I can, yeah, I can.
1 mic, 1 mic. Can you come out to the south to help me out with something?
If 3 of you can get 2, I'd be happy.
Honest Arvin.
Hey, LaFave.
Say, I got 10 pounds. I don't know how much a mortar shell weighs, but
I don't know if you can take.
1 mic, this is 1-1 mic, ready to check on Freak 42, over.
You should check with your New York.
1 mic, base, 5 on 42 over.
Copy out.
Alright, you don't want traces? Cool.
This is Charlie, we got 4 between us.
Alright, that's fair.
Alright, in here, new LZ markers have gone down. Plan
That's
has
fair.
changed. We're gonna land, move west, northwest. To Urban Hill. We're gonna get Lee's recon from OP1. And,
Oh, right, yeah, because you don't have a muzzle flash or anything like that. Yeah, so it's all good. That's assuming you hit them.
Too good. They always get hit.
Dakota!
I'm rocking the
Stop!
air boots.
When I'm in the AO, they all go down.
He's in the AO. Y'all gotta say
Can we get on here
AO.
together? Can we make it happen?
Air boots?
1-4's green ready to go with 8 mortars.
He pumped, he pumped the tongue so hard it levitates him.
Boot up the axe.
Shit.
All you fucking youngins don't even know about pumping the tongue.
Pump of the oh my god.
Look at that shit.
Sorry guys, quiet.
Come on, Sergeant Connor, get a hold of your foot.
1-1 mic, this is 1-3 mic, ready to check on 42. 1-4 mic, this is disregard.
Who's moaning you? Some fucking dude that just keeps fucking moaning.
1-1 mic, this is 1-3 mic. Can you hear me on 4-2, over? 1-3, this is 1-1, I read you Lima Charlie on 4-2, over. Roger, we may have to exchange communications back to 1 mic. I'll keep you advised of any transmissions, over. Copy.
Hey, shut the fuck up over there.
Jesus Christ.
That's fun for tomorrow. Oh, I'll get the sack if anyone sees this. Bet Daisy and I can clean it up.
Why are we talking about that? With the task force,
Because it makes her part of the future leaves me stuck in the past. Filthy sleep.
I don't know. I don't know.
Will you leave the guy at the tree alone?
I'm just making sure that he's good to go.
Hey, he had to find a tree to piss. Leave him alone.
Yeah, but like he's staring at us now. Well, we spoke and he moved.
Leave the poor man alone, alright?
It's not my fault he was eye fucking us.
It's wild.
Alright, get him over here and toss white. Okay, go fuck him.
Oh. Oh my god. Everyone look at him.
This guy.
Wait, everybody leave. Everybody leave. Oh my god.
I bet he doesn't even have a parachute in there.
Hey, look, they're doing it. Oh, you think you can do that? Hey, Spears, whip out the fucking clue on these hoes, bro. Whip out the fucking clue. Do it. They won't be ready.
Charlie F. Comms, government's 4.
Fucking Alpha's over here posing for a freaking Playboy shoot or some shit.
Channel timed out.
Look who's talking.
Yeah, give it to him, LaFave. Give it to him.
User joined your channel.
Yeah, that's all I gotta
Come
look
give me
at.
$5. Come give me $5 and see what you get.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Actually sound like a hole
Jesus Christ, what have I signed up for today?
Huh? Best time of your life.
Charlie Baker Comms.
That's Connor.
Just a little bit of a rubbing squad.
Talking shit?
This is your place.
They went there. They want that to be their new PCC. Fucking special people. Yeah, give it to them, Spears.
I know.
Yeah.
They might have
them
their,
assholes.
they might have their PCCs, but I can see their BPs.
I got a thermal lock. I just shoved that whole bitch in my pocket. You guys see this shit?
Yeah. That's what they want.
Yeah, it just folds right up.
It's those khaki pants. It's those cargo pants, man. I'm gonna have to save a screenshot of you two laying on the ground and these people showing them their ass and come up with a funny meme.
There you go.
It's fine.
Make sure you send it to us.
I will. I gotta figure out what I want to do with it now, though.
Waiting on thunder.
You guys wanted me.
Just waiting.
I decided Reyes doesn't even have a parachute in his pack. He's got like extra snacks and shit.
So they're waiting on air assets. What's he fucking doing standing there?
Maybe he keeps
I mean, he's pretty fast. Couldn't he just like catch up?
Yeah, look at him go speeding.
took his hat
Oh,
off.
he took his hat off. Holy shit. Hey, yo. Pull out your fucking iPhones, bro. Take this shit quick.
He's gonna go put the helmet on. He's gonna go put
But did he take off his aviators? That's the question.
Oh, I don't know. I think he flies with those on. Make it extra dark in there. That visor.
Thinks he needs night vision. He just can't see out of his dark ass glasses.
It's like the double goggle trick.
Did we were air assaulting, right?
I think the steering shoot him away.
Lost already?
Okay, just...
Please let me get out of this.
Why are you screaming? Come here.
Delta's Oscar Mike.
Playing VR. With whom? Huh?
Thanks.
It's in like a lobby, so it's not, so I'm just like in a lobby.
Charlie, sir.
It's in a hub slash
Man, Mama stuck her whole finger up there.
All right, Sergeant Brewer.
Thank you, Captain. All right, go ahead and get this out of the way now. Happy Zombie Jesus Day, everybody. Thank you for fucking coming out to play. So, sand table tonight, the training focus of this FTX is going to be terrain reading, terrain recognition, basically how to use the terrain to our advantage, all right? It's something that doesn't necessarily come all that naturally, but it can be learned with time. Luckily, I've got a little bit of time. I've been around the block more times than the sidewalk. So I am going to lead this sand table and discuss what we mean when we're talking about terrain recognition, terrain usage, and then I will be handing it over to Captain Drumheller. So a couple of points that I have here. Firstly, anybody here ever been to UCS, class that I teach on urban combat? People? Okay. Can anybody tell me what I refer to as the point man? What is point man to me?
Man in front.
I didn't mean literally. Point man is God. All right, you guys, anybody remember hearing me say that from UCS? Point man is God.
Affirm, Sergeant.
Right? Right. The reason point man is God is because he dictates your rate of movement. Okay. Anything the point man says to do, you do it. Reason being that point man is generally going to be the most experienced fucking guy. You know, we teach you guys in OSUT, or used to in my case, that whoever is best for the job does that job. So when it comes to point man of any formation, you generally want your most experienced guy up on point. Okay, so that point man dictates your tempo or your rate of movement. So if that point man says we need to stop, you stop. If he says we can keep moving, you keep moving. Obviously, leadership steps in if, you know, something needs to be stopped or needs to get going, whatever. But generally, you're going to rely on that point man to move or stop or so on. That leads into the next big point. Okay, we verbalize our action and then we conduct our action. So while we're traveling through terrain, that point man of whatever the formation is, if he is going to stop, if he's going to call a short halt, which again, even the last FTX, I stressed to you guys, if you're up front and every so often just stop, call a short halt and look around, read the terrain, not only in front of you, but all around you, and get an idea of where you are in the overall battle space. Point man feels he needs to do that, call a short halt, and then you stop. They don't stop, and then 10 seconds later, send up, you know, your team net that you're stopping, and the team leader's got to send it up to the squad leader. Squad leader's got to send it up to the platoon. We got to send it up to company. That's how we end up with guys running into the backs of each other. Call out that you're calling a short halt, give it a few seconds, and then stop your formation. That way it gives us time to get it all the way up to company level so that we aren't all ramming into the backs of each other. That makes sense to everybody?
Affirm, Sergeant.
Affirm. Yep.
All right. Now, again, that goes for, you know, traveling, if we're just moving from one place to another, okay? If you guys don't remember from OSUT, there's a difference between movement and maneuver. Once bullets are flying, we're no longer moving. We're no longer moving, we're now maneuvering. That's where, you know, the formation's like staggered column. Staggered column is not a maneuver formation, it's a movement formation. Why is it a movement formation as opposed to a maneuver formation? Anybody tell me?
Relatively close security and ability to engage.
Right. Yep. Not all that great security. What's a big downside outside of the security? What's a big risk to a staggered column formation or any column formation?
Enflating fire.
Enflating fire. Exactly. Okay. So, for example, again, reading the terrain. If we're hand railing an MSR and we start taking fire, we're not going to stay in that formation. Okay, we're setting ourselves up for failure, making the enemy's job easier. We're going to immediately fan out into something like a wedge or even a line, and then make use of terrain to maneuver on that threat. So one of the ways we can make use of terrain, do something known as a flank. Okay, everybody knows what a flank is. However, I don't believe everybody knows how to properly conduct a flank. Okay, to flank something, to properly flank something, you need to completely break the sight line between you and the enemy in order to properly flank. Otherwise, it is not a flank. All right. What I mean is, if you have a point element that gets engaged, if you are the maneuver element back behind them, if you push up 20 meters behind them, step to the right 20 meters, and then try and move forward, it is very unlikely you have broke that sight line. You have not conducted a flank at all. You've just moved yourself online with the other friendly elements, and now you're being engaged just as they are. Okay, you need to break that sight line. So there's two different ways we can break that sight line. One, we can use concealment. We can throw smoke, conceal our maneuver from point A to point B. You could also use terrain, defilade. Okay, we can drop down into a ditch, move onto the backside of a hill, so on. We can use that defilade to maneuver on the enemy, break that sight line, flank around them. Okay. One of the big issues that guys have when they conduct a flank like that is that they don't break their sight line. Guys will pop up and look over defilade and see where they are in relation to the threat, so on and so forth, and then they get spotted. You have to fucking trust that you're the other side of that defilade, where the enemy is currently being engaged by your friendly elements. They're hopefully not going to move up to the top of that defilade. If they do, you can engage them. But you have to stay out of sight until you're ready to actually engage the enemy. Is this making sense to everybody? Now, there is technically two different types of flanks. Okay, you've got a traditional flank, you've got a deep flank where you actually flank all the way around behind them. I personally am not a big fan at all of a deep flank because you end up putting yourself at more of a risk of being hit by blue on blue. It's much more difficult to lift and shift fire on a deep flank than it is a traditional flank. But it is an option. It's just not an option that I necessarily recommend all that much. So you want to make sure when you are flanking the enemy that you come in perpendicular to your friendly element. It's about as straight a 90 degree as you can, and then start shifting across. This again goes into that verbalize action, conduct action. When you are the squad leader of that maneuver element, when you start pushing across through the enemy position, you need to make sure you're on the radio, letting the other squad leader know, all right, we're rolling in from the right or the left or east, west, whatever. Let them know, all right, we're rolling into that kill box. Go ahead and start shifting your fire left. And try and cut down on that risk of blue on blue. All right, anybody have any questions on how to conduct a flank or how to use terrain to conduct a flank?
Negative.
All right, one of the things I'm going to point out when it comes to conducting that flank, or especially a flank on a fixed position, is when we use concealment, it is absolutely vital. You do not conceal the enemy position from your covering element. Okay, for example, again, if you're that maneuvering element going out on a flank and you're on the south side of a fixed position, if you throw the smoke onto the south side of the fixed position, your covering element can no longer cover you. If you flank around to the east side and throw the smoke on the east side, the enemy cannot engage you. Your friendly elements can still engage the enemy. Makes a lot of sense. Not a lot of people practice it properly. Don't throw smoke directly in front of your fucking covering element. Everybody tracking on that? All right, next thing we have, all right, as we're traveling through terrain, one of the big things that I know myself does, as well as the CO, okay, as we're traveling through terrain, I'm constantly thinking, if I were the enemy and knew where I was right now, how would I be maneuvering on me? It's always going through my head. Where would I be right now if I were the enemy? I would be on the back side of this little bit of deflate. Guess what I'll do? I'll go check the back side of that deflate. And you'd be surprised how many times it has saved our asses. I'll look over that piece of deflate and, oh, look, there's 2 fucking squads maneuvering on us. Exactly where I would want to be. Now, when we do that, okay, an important thing to keep in mind there is when you do peek over that deflate, you're exposing yourself to any potential enemy fire. So, as we're traveling along, it's not a big deal to every so often, hey, I'm going to check over this deflate real quick. But when you do it, you should be low and slow, all right? Get as low as you possibly can, peek over the deflate, get a quick lay of the land, make sure nothing's out there moving, and then drop back. And do it with as few people as possible. Just 2 people, you and your battle running up there, hit the deck real quick, crawl up, check over the deflate, drop back down. All right, we're good to go. That's perfectly fine. And if you're one of the guys on the flank of the formation, if you get, kind of a funny feeling, don't hesitate to hit the point man up and say, hey, we need a short halt real quick. I want to check the backside of this deflate. Point man, do it. Take his fucking word for it. He's getting that feeling for a reason. Trust their gut. Call a short halt.
User in your channel timed out. Entered
Takes
your
a couple
channel.
of seconds. All right, we're good to go. Let's keep moving.
Takes a couple of
All right,
seconds.
makes sense to everybody?
From
Sergeant.
Okay. Now, when it comes to traveling through terrain, even maneuvering through terrain, but primarily traveling, formations that we use, okay, we teach you guys formations day 1 of OSA. I'm not going to go through all of that. But when it comes to the spacing of those formations, anybody remember from OSA what dictates your spacing more than anything else?
Terrain.
Terrain, right? The very topic we're discussing today. That is going to dictate your spacing more than anything else. Obviously, enemy fire and so on does come into play, but while you're traveling, enemy fire isn't a factor. Okay, we're traveling, we're not maneuvering. So spacing is going to be dictated by your terrain. General rule of thumb is that we want to maintain visual contact while maintaining as much spacing as possible, especially so we can conduct traveling overwatch, right? We've got an element 50 to 75 meters out front. They're the point element, next element's back there, so they're in a position to be able to push up and support or drop back and flank to, close on the enemy. So that spacing is a big deal, all right? 2 reasons. 1, makes it harder for the enemy to hit multiple people. 2, gives us the room to maneuver without fucking running into each other, something we already talked about. So that's one of the things we definitely need to work on is increasing that spacing. Even from the last FTX for us, we had a decent formation. We had decent movement through the terrain. However, our spacing was dog shit. Everybody was basically right on top of each other. It was one gigantic platoon column, if you will, but it was more like a platoon file. There was no space where one squad ended and another one began. So that's something we need to work on across the board, is making sure we have that spacing so that if that element in front of us is engaged, we're not decisively engaged at the same time. Make sense to everybody? All right. Last little thing I want to kind of drive home with you guys when it comes to this terrain and moving through it. The terrain we're specifically training in here, there is not a lot of drastic elevation changes. The map is not drastically different from what we generally see, in person, eyes on. But we do move into terrains at times where that is the case, where we have drastic elevation changes that are, more drastic in person than what they look like on the map. Or we have areas where it looks on the map like there's dense vegetation and we're going to have a lot of concealment, a lot of cover, and we get there and that's just not the case. It's, one tree every 10 feet, even though it looks like it's a densely populated forest on the tree, or on the map, sorry. In those situations, okay, if we say, we're moving to RP1, well, RP1 is going to take us through what looked like a dense forest, but it's actually a fairly open field. But 50 meters to the left, we've got a good piece of defilade that we can use to move up onto RP1 relatively safely. Move behind the fucking defilade 50 meters to the left. I don't give a shit that we're moving off our marked route. That marked route is a guideline at most. It is not scripture. We do not have to fucking stick to it. And a lot of this falls on the point man, but also on leadership. Make that call. Even just a squad leader. Make that fucking call. No, take us 50 meters to the left. Fuck this. We're not going out in that open field. Let's use that defilade. Send it up to us. If we absolutely cannot make that movement for whatever reason, then we'll let you know. Otherwise, it's move at your fucking discretion. Okay? And I'm sure you guys have heard that said before, move at your discretion. I'm a huge proponent of that. I'm a huge proponent of that because of the man standing next to and behind me here. I put a lot of faith in your guys' judgment. Okay? If you think you need to move off the X a certain way, do it. If there's a problem, I'll let you know. But don't take those marked routes as an absolute must. Move us how we need to move through that terrain. All right, sound good to everybody?
Affirm, Sergeant.
Affirm, Sergeant.
All right. Captain Drumheller, we're all yours.
All right. One thing to go over what Sergeant Brewer was saying, or at least to add on to it, when traveling in platoon, quote-unquote formation, you guys don't have to go right behind or in front of the other squad. You guys need to shift out to the left or shift out to the right and give yourselves room to maneuver. And if someone in front of you does stop, it means you're not ramming into their asses, because that's not exactly what we're here to do. Maybe that's what some of you are here to do, but not while we're on mission or doing an exercise. So you guys don't have to be right in front of and behind each other. And that goes for a squad as well as the whole platoon. That goes for teams. Like, shift off to the side. We don't always have to travel in a column or a staggered column or a squad column. We can travel in a fucking squad line. Even a platoon line. Or just fuck it up. Let's do a tactical square. Don't do a tactical square. But get your guys out of being in line with each other so that they can maneuver more easily. And they're also covering more ground. They have more eyes front. The other thing is, let's do a quick practical exercise. We're looking at our LZ, our primary and secondary LZ. And we're going to be, with that LZ, we are landing right at 2 clicks away from our AO. So, looking at this terrain, what are some things we can do to get closer to the AO? Anyone that's staff sergeant or lower. I don't want you to draw lines on the map. I want you to speak up.
Could you say again, Captain?
Go for it. Say again what? Like the last 5 minutes of everything I've been saying, or what?
The place you were talking about on the map.
Our primary LZ. Do you guys not see the primary LZ marker?
Eyes on.
1191068. 119068. It's 2 clicks outside of our AO. So what can we do looking at that terrain to get closer to the AO? LZ-wise.
Captain, I see a number of ditches or buildings, even wooded areas that we could maneuver through.
Where?
To kind of snake our way up.
Draw a circle on the map. Show me.
Through here. And if that wasn't good, alternatively, we could even move out a little bit further east and kind of go up through here. Make our way around. That should get us all the way up.
So I'm talking about getting us closer to our AO before we get out of the helicopter.
Roger.
We could land further southwest by this cluster of buildings at the southeast corner. We have the entire road to the north of basically the entire easting of the eastern AO. It's all flat land. We could land down there, or we could even air assault in via faster.
All right. Outside of terrain reading, what are some of the other things we can do at a more command level?
Recon, sir.
How?
Air assets if available. UAV. If we can set up on an OP somewhere just to get some eyes out from a hilltop somewhere.
Well, if we set up on an OP, we're already on the ground. We've already landed.
Right, that was my last ditch effort there, sir.
So we've got a bunch of powerful aerial recon assets. We don't have a helo right now. Do we have Thunder here?
Hey, firm captain.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move our primary LZ. Can. Well, do you want to go here? Or up here? Because what am I looking for in that LZ?
Open terrain.
Defilade from the west.
And?
Flat land to land on.
Yep. Yeah. Spot we can land and defilade from the majority of the AO. So, 1-6, 1-7, which one of those two LZs do you want to look at? Dagger.
Captain, I would prefer the northern one.
Same, Captain.
Alright. Why the northern one?
Northern one, we can basically bring the birds in, nose to tail, right along the road there. Drop all 4 birds right in line. Have everybody out, gone, and up into the trees or up onto the slope and the trees there. And, I mean, 30 seconds or less.
Alright. Which way are we going to come in on this? Are we coming down through this way, or are we coming down through this way?
East.
What?
The eastern route.
Eastern route, sir.
We're gonna be coming down this main road.
Alright. So what we need is, while we are en route, we need Thunder to scout out everything basically on the east side of that, but specifically focusing on that big hilltop and ridge line right here to see if that LZ is safe. Because if they've got eyes down in here, then we're not going to be able to land there. Maybe even something up here if that has an angle. So our primary LZ needs to be our secondary LZ, and our secondary LZ needs to be our tertiary LZ, and we have a new primary LZ. That'll get us closer unless there's already a threat, in which case we don't have to worry about it because we're going to move 500 meters from the LZ onto this ridge line, and we're already going to have eyes on whatever contacts might be up there. Anyone have any questions on that?
Negative. Negative, Cap.
Negative, Captain.
Negative, Captain.
Negative, sir.
All right. Do you guys understand like the thought process and the reasoning behind that stuff?
Affirm, sir.
Affirm, sir.
All right. Anyone have any questions? First Sergeant, you got anything you want to go over?
Yes, I do. Stop looking at your fucking GPS devices. Team members, team leaders, your job is to keep your head looking around on a fucking swivel. All right? Squad leaders, you're the ones that need to be looking at that shit if you have to, but no one else should be looking at that with any regularity. Use your eyes, use your fucking Mark 1 brains, get this shit done, go kill some shit.
All right. And what's the other part of not looking at your GPS devices? The thing that I've been harping on you guys for the past couple of months.
Give bearing and distance.
Distance and direction.
Give a fucking distance and a direction. Do not give movement orders with a goddamn Blue Force marker, because then everyone has to stop and open their fucking Blue Force device when one person at the top could have just given a direction and distance for movement. The only time you should be giving a Blue Force marker is if someone doesn't fucking understand where something is and you're trying to guide them in on target. Any questions or comments?
Negative.
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 All right. Do we have our bird assignments?
Not yet, Captain. That will be squared away less than a minute.
All right, let's get that done and get mounted up.
All right.
2 birds.
Just wait till they get mounted up and then...
You want me to assign them?
Copy.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Not yet.
1-1 first bird.
Last bird, guys.
Lost bird. Be in the last.
Last bird, copy.
Be in the third bird.
Be in bird 3. Third one from the front.
Last bird or the fourth bird? Because it's 5.
Lock and load.
Better lock and load.
I'm gonna count 4. Yeah, okay. For Jesus Christ.
What the fuck? No. Apparently not, hey.
Okay. Alpha or Charlie, swing around the other side. Charlie, swing around the other side. Rob, go to Charlie.
Or full boarding from the west side.
Are we not boarding? Permission to load, Chief.
Load on in. AT gunners, get on the fucking guns. Delta copies.
What are we waiting for?
Chief, are we clear to load?
Delta's all in. Charlie's in.
Yeah.
Alpha's in.
Whole 4's loaded.
Ugh, you guys hit across.
One for this Delta, we're clear to lock and load. Correct. Yeah, lock and load.
Copy. Jesus. Want to rest it on my shoulder while you do that?
No.
Christ. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I show you
upset you
on your face.
Delicious.
Alright. You know if I upset you or not.
Back in.
Get Thunder up in the air so he can fucking scout out that LZ. Your UAVs are. There's no way you're gonna get there.
We can do it by
Those in your
teams.
fucking backpack.
We can do it by teams if we need to do that.
It's gonna take those UAVs like fucking 15 minutes to get there. This is 6 in traffic. Six cop. Dagger Blacksmith, are you in? You guys didn't have to grab an extra UAV? Roger, let's roll out.
Did it smell good?
You smell that?
Jesus. Please tell me.
It smells like there's about to be some lead in the air.
I hate you. Can we leave him?
Fortunately, we couldn't bring him.
Okay.
We can leave him there, though. Just leave me some ammo, a little water, some chips if you have them.
Fucking Nicola, my dog.
You might accidentally fall out on the way.
Keep the fucking golfer up.
Alright, lock it up for the pilots, guys.
Primary LZ got burned, moving back to the secondary LZ. Delta dummies. Alpha copy. Charlie copy.
Mike copy.
Doing that, clicks out. One click out. One click, Roger. Seconds out.
Multiple blue floor mark going out. They do have IDF capabilities. Copies. Copy.
Go, 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 go.
Delta's on the deck. Charlie's out.
Mike's out.
Stand by for Fosex. Delta up is. Get over that bird. Weapons on safe.
Make sure they're on safe. 10-4 on 10-4. 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 10-4 on 10
right around the bird, y'all.
Rally on the bird.
Condition 4 as you come over.
Condition 4 now.
Condition 4.
No, don't condition 4. Who said condition 4?
Disregard
No one
the
said
condition
condition
4. Just fucking shoulder.
Just fucking put it on safe.
Please put on your safety.
I mean, either that or he's staying with us. Up to him.
Do you need help, Mike?
Can it be his punishment for landing that bird that hard?
No. Did anyone think? So this is a good example of reading terrain. Something I fucked up. Did anyone realize how open the side of this hill was going to be? From looking at the map, did it look like it was going to be that gradual of a slope?
Negative.
Thought we were going to have like really good defilade, and we were going to be going up a way steeper slope, right?
Firm.
All right, that's one of the things that we're talking about in looking at terrain. This is one of the things we were trying to find for a briefing and couldn't. Is reading terrain and then getting there and realizing, oh shit, we fucked up. That terrain does not look like what we thought it looked like, and now we have to adjust our plan at least a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind while we're looking at these terrain features and how we're going to proceed. Change our plan, or are we even going to change our plan? Does it change because of this slope not looking or not being as steep as 1617? Gonna change what we're doing at all?
I wouldn't say it's necessary. I mean, we still have to play from radio, and we can still stay on the back side of the different.
Start moving west. Let's get to the north side of the Bravo. Start moving west. This is Delta. We're gonna maneuver north to this. Roger, north of the fence line, then so west from there. IRS, if they're being retasked, we won't have them stationed for at least 20 mics. Photos. Oh, cover. Bring it to a walk. Surely copies.
Walk.
Photos.
No, this is. I don't know what the hell we are.
Need some more room, 1-4. Hang out here for a fucking hot second.
Okay, from start.
Remember, 50 to 75.
Short halt here.
Center 4-4.
This bush is mine.
Stay from 3.
Alright, Alpha, bring us out. Keep following me in.
Got me.
Disregard their short halting there. Alpha, you can short halt.
Short halt again. This is mine.
Just right up here, Alpha is holding.
She chose me, but it never worked. She's dead now anyway. It was never.
I think I crushed a testicle getting off the helo.
I didn't know she was dead.
The only one you have left. You better be careful.
We separated long before. I didn't see the symptoms. You know what she said? She said, Charlie Carson was the better
The only
man.
one you have left, Spears.
I could have looked in.
It's already done its job. I don't need him anymore.
The fool
Okay.
couldn't see it. But she saw it.
Well, I'm glad we did it.
If she wanted to tell you the truth.
No.
Center 4-1-4.
Mike with me on southwest. Alpha, continuing southwest with me.
Copy. 4 confirm, everybody else is holding.
Delta come along with Bravo and Charlie hold for the time being.
Copy.
Oh, goes.
Delta's us from Mike.
Alpha, get set up facing west here.
Doc, we're gonna follow 1-1 in.
Alpha set.
That's west.
4-4 set up.
Charlie Bravo, start moving your way up. They're going a little offshore, north side.
Copy. Moving.
We're currently getting set up here for 1-1 across this field.
This is Alpha, looks like we got company to our southwest, just going down the road.
Currently holding positions, providing base for correct number 1 across the field.
Do you want to set up here or further down with Habit 6?
It's Twitter.
Full 4 copies.
Charlie is 1-4.
Some traffic.
Go ahead and cross the field on the north side to the buildings to our southwest.
We'll come.
You know they've already moved off that, right?
Yeah.
They're halfway up the hill now.
Center 4-4.
Bravo, this is 1-4. Go ahead and follow behind Charlie.
Copy. Charlie's in the ditch.
And then we'll move across to the southwest of the field.
Bravo Charlie is moving forward. We're holding with Alpha.
You're taking your lanes of fire. 1-2, this is 1-4. You have my Charlie section just in front of you, just so you're aware.
Grabbing the row of trees on your right.
Roger.
Alpha, as soon as Charlie's get set up in the building, go ahead and follow the fucking to the north. Alpha, copy.
Get set to move. Once Charlie's set in that building, it's going to be following Alpha.
Before this, Charlie, are we pushing to the south side or are we holding here at the wall?
Get good eyes out to the southwest down that road and whatever you need to do.
Okay.
Just make sure you're not exposed over to the west.
Center for 1-4. We'll be moving. Alright guys, let's get going.
Alpha Delta move.
Charlie, set. Delta's left from right.
Moving. Over.
Stop or keep going?
We're gonna push past you.
Yeah, go for it, 1-4. 1-2, this is 1-3, we are off the mic.
Hey, Sergeant Simon, you guys are kind of mixing in with us here a little bit.
Stay firm, we're gonna keep pushing past you.
Roger.
Alpha, keep moving to the south side of this compound here.
Bitch, and not run in front of me.
Stay firm.
And you're fucking and you're
Head it fucking west this side here. Actually, disregard that. Continue west. Yeah, west.
Before the shot.
Found it.
Can we cross the target eyes out to the south and west better?
Southwest.
Stay firm. Just don't push out too far.
Going in here.
Not really.
Actually, it's kind of cluster here. Let's move back out. Crossing.
Yeah, that's not recommended.
So there is a BTR on that hill I called out to the due west.
4 copies.
Still gonna be about 3 clicks out.
Delta, there's still there's a BTR set up on the hilltop. It's about 3 clicks out. Due west.
Delta copies.
Yeah.
1-4, this is Charlie. What's our intent right now?
Should be Charlie's this side.
We are working on figuring that out, but I believe we're going to start moving to the west.
What is the nature of our current hold?
That makes sense.
Ah.
Mike Indy, sorry. Yeah, my finger slipped.
Mike, am I supposed to blow your load so early?
No, it was a mic.
Yeah. Go ahead and put the safety on for the time being.
It is.
Roger.
Is everybody awake now?
Mike was just getting antsy. He was looking for a hold plug.
I just never get to shoot.
He's like, I'll make one of my own, goddammit.
What did that worm do to you?
It's what he didn't do.
Oh?
4 copies.
We have a new RP mark. It's going to be to our bearing of 228, 2.2 clicks out. Basically,
Intersector will be moving out 255 to LP1, approximately 500 meters.
Charlie, copy. Yeah, copy.
All 4 copies will take second in line.
255.
So that means that there's probably going to be some sketchy parts as we make it to the next ridge line over.
We're falling behind 1-3 as soon as they move out southwest.
Copy that. Charlie, copy. Delta W's.
Correction on last, we're moving southwest 228 to RP2, approximately 2,500 meters.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit. 2.2, almost 2.3 out.
Alpha copies. Are we following company? They're already 200 meters out. No, we're gonna follow beyond 1-3. They should be first in line.
Alpha copies.
I know. Roger.
Wait, are they first in line or are we moving last?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Hello.
Howdy. Sorry for sitting in front of you. 213.
It should be fun crossing that open field.
Oh, this
Cross
is
me, cross me.
Oh, you mean starting archery? He's up ahead of us.
Alright, 1-4, follow behind 1-3. Just give him a sec.
We're crossing Perky.
Yeah, there you go. I believe.
What are you guys?
I'll bring it for a walk. There's still more 1-3.
On you.
Alright guys, bring it for the runs. Switch up to 1 Havoc 6.
Everyone is 1-4 beyond 1-3.
I don't know, maybe.
An Australian sleep, eating with her legs. Never mind the doctors. No, I do not.
Say again? I'm gonna go with sugarcane.
Maize.
Yeah, corn does not look like that. Oh, that's awesome.
Bravo, keep moving.
Fucking kids in the corner, that's what that shit was.
Go ahead and cross the road, Bravo. All the
Roger.
1-3.
The fuck is my food?
Alright, Mike.
That one.
Moving up to the ridge line to the northwest to get eyes on that hotel compound.
Can you just lead us into the fence in the yard?
I don't know.
There's 1-3.
They're in this ditch, aren't they?
Fall into the ditch behind 1-3.
And ditch to our southeast.
Copy.
What's that rock, dude? You get it. Eyes over the defilade break. We will continue movement southwest behind 1-3. 6 will catch up with us.
You need to figure out how to traverse
Full
gaps a little
copy.
better, Spears. We're no way around the gap, you know what I'm saying?
It's like that.
You missed all night. You know how when you rapidly go down a hill, your balls tingle? Yeah, a little bit.
I thought you lost those.
I think that's you, though.
Nah, I feel that.
Okay. Spears, you roll an ankle, I'm not carrying your fat ass out of here. I'll not have that sass for you.
If you fall, I will catch you.
I will step in.
Time after time.
That sucks to be in my head. God damn it.
90% of you fuckers are not old enough to get that reference.
The sultry voice makes it so much better, Simon.
You're not that much older than me.
At one statement and everybody erupted.
Hey, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and gargle back that attitude.
Nasty.
Swallow that fucking negativity there.
Ew.
It's all over the guy. Fucking took a fat load of grumps.
User disconnected from your channel.
I will be waiting.
Yeah.
The fucking most quiet march ever. Listen, all look. You know Cindy Robbers, I guess.
Left, right.
Who the fuck is gonna drive on this road?
I don't know, but they've got a decent ass to be fucking navigating that.
Christ, dude.
It's a better road than the most in Oklahoma. Most of them in Oklahoma.
Just gonna
Now that North Carolina squat's what happens after you drive on it.
That's really what it is. They're carrying a load.
That's way out there.
They're showing they're available for a load.
Doesn't mean if they're email can't fucking take your head off.
If you
Fucking
find
nasty,
that,
Ken.
No, I know.
Sagging pants and a fucking Carolina spot.
Is that Carolina squat the truck version of that?
If I wanted to shoot that far, I'd be coming with Charlie. That's all I'm saying.
That just reminds me of another song.
yes.
How do you segue from does the chain hang low? Does the wobble? I thought it was in my pants.
Yeah, that's what
I've never liked that song.
Center
No,
for 1-4.
you haven't heard it long enough.
In the Navy.
Okay. Speaking of semen, it's fun to stay in
1-4 copies.
it's fun to stay
Charlie, this is 1-4.
It's the traffic.
Should the AGS is on the hilltop, click star west, you got permission to send a jab at it.
What? Where's that?
2 click star west on the tippy top of the hill.
Alright, are we halting here, or are you gonna put me in there?
Just if it fires, it's gonna try to engage it with a jab.
I mean, why give him the chance?
Because your missiles are expensive.
I mean, one shot, one kill, my guy.
Way out there. Doesn't look military, but
I paid my taxes.
It doesn't come out of my pay.
I Sorry, Charlie, go ahead and cancel off that target. Should the 80 Alpha that's on the hilltop engage us? I'd prefer if you took that one out.
That's more my speed.
I figured you'd like that.
Hey, 1-4, just leave it to the machine guns. They'll take care of it.
At 2 clicks?
Yeah, they got AT ammo, bro. It's built for it.
80 Alphas at 2 clicks?
Fuck yeah, dog. Oh, heaven.
Oh, what happened there?
Charlie, get set up so you can find it.
Shots are coming in from the north. This is Delta, yeah, it's coming in from the north.
People are shooting. I don't know what's going on.
1-4, this is Delta, eyes on, it's 700 meters to 005. Enemy infantry. Enemy infantry, 2-time squad on the road, 750 meters out north.
Alpha Bravo's trying to get in positions to engage.
Alpha's ready. 1-4, this is Charlie. I had a Vic on the top of the hilltop north, pulled back behind Death Blade before I can identify over.
Roger. Charlie, keep an eyes out fucking west. Try to find me where the 80 Alpha is.
Delta's watching the north for that vehicle to possibly show its face.
1-4, this Bravo.
Center for 1-4.
We got an emplacement in AGS 306, 2,000 meters out.
Roger. Alpha Bravo, we have friendlies inside the red brick building. Make sure you stay west of it.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, it looks like a trench position, H barriers, fucking sandbags.
Oh yeah,
ID active now.
Fire mission going out. Fire mission going out.
User joined your channel.
Good call, though.
Roger, I'm gonna check fucking. Yeah, it's gonna be the.
This is Delta, I haven't had any eyes on that vehicle that Charlie called.
0918.
1-4 copies.
There should be another entrenched position somewhere like southwest of us. That 279.
1-4, this is Charlie, I got negative eyes on that 80 Alpha over.
Roger.
Oh, 9. Yeah, that shit's not marked up. 279.
This is Alpha, bearing 305. I got eyes on 2 guys, about 1700 out. Copy.
That was on the wrong net.
1-4, or correction, Charlie, this is Delta. I got on, like, looks like a BTR 309, 2,400 meters.
4-4 does negative eyes.
Alpha's tracking that as well. Moving you. Looks like it's behind a fucking huge trench though.
4 copies.
Charlie, head north down the trench, find Havoc 17. Should be 200 and 300 meters.
Oh, I see it on top of the ridge. Top of the ridge, 309.
Charlie, head up fucking northeast, get 17.
Maybe the gunner.
Mike's gonna be off comms, 30 Sierra.
Roger.
1-4 is Charlie, 1-7 send us back, we're moving you. Charlie's a
1-4 copies. Break. 1-7 this is 1-4. I'm gonna try this section to be coming up on you.
Cannon, keep your eyes out. I'm gonna.
Roger.
Alright guys, continue the trend line southwest.
Continuing movement southwest. Wait for 1-4 Mike to get spacing.
What's the
Nope.
max distance?
Delta, keep moving.
Keep moving. Depends on how lucky you feel.
It's right behind us.
Delta's Oscar Mike.
Are you talking about that shit on top of the hill?
Yeah, that BTR.
Yeah, nah, they.
Just
Yeah, nah, that's way out of range.
yeah, even if it was
1-4 is
range, that'd
1-7,
be
send it.
not
I mean,
an
I'd
easy shot.
try.
Get moving.
Roger.
Well,
Say it.
You just gotta
Yeah,
do
you just gotta do plunging fire with them all.
copy. Yeah, 1-4 is still right here.
One
Are
at
we
that
moving
thing.
past him?
Round it, you know.
Spears, y'all supposed to be moving?
Say again?
Are y'all supposed to be moving?
Yeah, we're catching up. We're looking for that 80.
Across this open area.
With you. Hey, Mike, you
I
good?
want to save those javelins.
1-4 is Charlie. I'm with Mike. Is he
He's
he
good,
also
continue moving.
moving?
Yeah,
He's
you
off
want me to
balance.
let HQ move past him?
Alright, moving. With you.
Alpha, this is 1-4. They're gonna be moving west towards this building.
Yeah, that's not very nice.
Copy that, we're going south about 20 meters to get in the trench.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a view issue. I don't know if this is view just an issue or what. I can't see it.
Alright, we're continuing south.
Roger, get it back.
1-4, do you want us to cover 1-3 as they're moving? Yeah, follow 1-3.
This is Oscar Mike.
Mike's back on comms, moving to your position behind Charlie.
Roger.
Squash.
Right, Charlie, if you wanna keep going, we're gonna hold for a sec.
Charlie copies. We're about 150 meters behind you.
Mike's moving behind.
Copy that, Bravo. You gotta go west.
1-4 is Charlie. Mike's moving with us.
1-4 copies, thanks.
Did I just hear that? That she has the pumpkins grow under the ground. That's not a thing, right?
Alright, Alpha, let's pick up. Continue moving beyond 1-3. Alpha covering.
Delta will be following behind Alpha.
Bravo, stay up there with 1-3, and if you need to, get into position.
There's that
Look
I'd
up.
like to see. Haha. Look at that radio on his back. Oh.
Charlie, this is 1-4, moving west.
Eyes on for moving.
Mike?
Yep, following.
Yep, alright.
I believe we are.
We'll be moving west up here, but we need 1-4 to get separation.
Yeah, 1-4 is out. Let's turn, I guess.
So the guy's over here on our right. What are you talking about? Thick boy over there.
I'm waiting for my mic.
Michael.
One, two copies, continue movement, west. Let's go. 1-6 is 1-3, send traffic.
the armor on the hilltop northwest. We're gonna be staging inside this compound.
User in your channel timed out.
Alright, Alpha Bravo, we're clear to stay
Delta copies.
This is Alpha, we going inside? Is 1-3 inside the compound? Let 1-3 go in first and then fall in behind. Alpha copies.
Yeah, let's push in the compound. Let's make sure it's secured.
I'll stay with White.
We're getting ready to push the compound. Just waiting for
This is
them to
Bravo,
push
I'm
in.
gonna hold back until we can get on back on comp.
Oh, hey.
So,
How you doing? Glad we could join you.
Let's go and escort it
Bravo
out.
copies reserved, we can't move yet.
Y'all want to go in there? We got full in security.
We have one
Can
off.
you watch over this guy?
Yeah, I got him.
Alright, you wanna go?
Tell White to stick with me when he comes back until I can get to him to you.
Yeah, same on my.
Alright,
Oh, it's White. He's running off. As you...
Alright guys, start falling 1-3 into the compound. Get securities out, southwest to northwest.
Copy.
Alpha comes.
Bravo's going through northwest. Bravo's Charlie's with you, bro.
Alpha's right here in the northwest.
Yeah, I think it was just unmanned. You see a guy in the fucking ditch there in the trench there.
As we move to RP2, which is towards west, make sure we stay on the west side of it. Perfect. 2 PTRs and the hilltop are catastrophic. Alpha copies. And we're waiting on one more airstrike on a gun truck.
4-4 copies.
We're getting another airstrike. Oh, they just did.
1-4, this is Delta. We might have an approach to RP2 here to our west, next to the west, or correction, south.
I'm hungry, but I'm not. But I'm nauseous.
Roger.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's all in your head. Yeah, this is Bravo. Hey, that other building, we're moving to the
This is Delta 1 pushing past this time now.
Roger, as soon as 1-3 pass, we're gonna fall behind.
Delta.
I'll come down. Are you following me 1-3 out to the west?
Bravo, Charlie, you might want to start playing southwest.
Copy. Delta's Oscar Mike. Charlie's moving.
1-4 can hold security in the compound.
pretty typical, you get a good spot or watch something.
Bravo, Charlie holds position here.
Alpha cover. Copy.
If you guys had better eyes, then somebody fuck over there.
I mean, we can see the shit on the hilltop over there, but it's getting bombed, so I'm not sure we can really do.
At least somebody's using the
Both
fighting
houses were destroyed.
Oh, these.
Not quite yet. I'm hearing that there's still another target up there.
Oh, target.
Just
What's
demon,
the
but we're good. We got one for cover, and everything looking this way is down.
Over here. There you go.
Alpha section, make sure you stay on the east side of that spur you're coming up to. We got shit 2 clicks to your west. Alpha, good copy.
Alright.
Alpha short halting. Roger, once 1-3 starts moving, you're gonna start getting up to the northern side of the wood line you're on. Alpha copies. Alpha's moving. Roger, let me know if you have eyes out northwest when you get over there so we can move Charlie's section. Alpha 1-3 should be moving right behind you to the compounds to your north. AFM, we're just behind the lead team. Let you know when we're set. Roger.
Got that fucking stanky leg.
Okay.
See that draw?
I don't think that should be bending that way.
What are you, a doctor?
But we have one.
Oh.
Are we good to start moving yet?
If you're referring to me as a doctor, that's a stretch.
Start moving. Charlie, let's go.
This is Alpha from setting the roof, watching northwest. Over.
I think I solved the problem. Should be good.
All 4 copies.
This is a weird road.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job.
What are they doing?
How they paved around the
Some
trees.
game of some sort?
It's a new age shit.
That wasn't me this time.
Thank you, Mike. Alpha, what was that up there? Someone indeed, I don't know.
It was negative for Delta, whatever it was. It was an ND.
That wasn't me this time.
It's so bad.
Delta's shifting northwest to get better eyes. We got some defilade here in the form of a ditch.
Oh, fuck up.
Too fat to be running up these hills.
Delta, just see you. No, you're the furthest out there.
This is Delta. We got a fire team from 1-3 up here with us.
Roger, it works for me.
Alright, not too far.
There's a friendly, at least one guy up there to the west. I'm not sure who.
We're getting set up on this compound, getting eyes out northwest.
Copy.
Copy, I was off comms for about 30 CR. Are we coming to the compound to the southwest?
1-4, this is Delta. From my position, looking, we may have some form of like snaking ditch that could probably get us closer to that hilltop fighting position.
Copy. I believe the current movement is going to be southwest.
Bravo, come on where Alpha's at. Switch down east.
1-3, 1-2, copy.
This is 6. What are we stopped for?
14 to there.
Alright, Mike, let's get inside the
You're in
walls.
front of me right now. Move.
They're not pushing out.
I'll follow behind you. We'll try not to.
Go ahead, take us out.
Got some fucking big ass dip, bro.
Packing some candy in them.
Alright, move over this wall here to the northwest. Let's move this wall to the northwest, calling Alpha.
Roger.
Call that fucking IDF.
1-4, this is Delta. IDF was to our east about 200 meters, 300 meters.
One 4 copies Delta.
That little...
Alpha, this is 1-4. Why don't you move up to Delta's position? Alpha, copy. Start moving with 1-3 when they pass you, Delta.
Say again, after 1-3 push fast. 1-4, this is Charlie, over.
Send it for 1-4.
Hey, at that compound 1500 with the two guys is where we've got at least a squad size. Looks like they've reoccupied.
Roger, is the gas is still unmanned?
They're disabled and burn out.
Roger.
Yeah, I'll try and yell.
You want to shoot at it, go.
4 cents to gun. Bearing 325, 1500 meters.
Alpha, this is Delta. That IDF is coming in on us. We're going to keep moving west.
That was an IDF.
Alpha section, there's a platoon size 295, about 300 meters.
Alpha copies.
Bravo, Charlie, let's start moving northwest behind 1-2.
Charlie, copy.
Kill it.
Well, let's hold up a sec, Mike. 1-4 copies.
I don't see anything up here. It's 325, 1400 meters. You not see that shit?
Somebody stick around.
Mike.
Hey, it's not like... Yeah, 1-4, it sounds like a marksman. Is that our marksman?
That's our marksman.
Oh, hey, somebody was in the middle of that shit.
All Mike, 1 Mike, kill them. 1 Mike, this is 1-2 Mike, I'm green. 6 Mike, small green.
1-4, this is Delta. You guys good back there?
1-4 Mike, green.
Bravo, Charlie, check in.
Charlie, green.
Bravo, green.
1 Mike, this is 1-1. Correction, this is 1-1 Mike.
Alpha, you guys good?
Green across the board, blood bag times 10. Over.
1 Mike, copy.
Alpha, this is Delta. On the north, we got another treasure. Runs east to west. Not at the moment. Over.
1 Mike, this is 1-2 Mike. I seem to have 1 casualty. Stand by. Copy 1-2, keep your place.
Someone's running there. Someone's picking him up.
Probably going to contain down trench line and see if we're going to get contact.
I got him, Ryan. Alright, he got it.
Can't pick.
I think one of your guys has got one of mine.
Charlie,
Can't pick people up for shit.
Get to that engagement. Roger, Bravo just relayed.
You got a tree in place, Mike.
Yep.
I got his left arm.
1 Mike, this is 1-1 Mike. I have 1 casualty on my 1-4, this is Charlie, over.
Send it for 1-4.
Disregard.
I'm getting your leg, Renikio. You can be able to run.
But no one step up, over.
Copy 1 Mike.
I cannot get him.
Alpha, this is Delta. We're online with you.
Being treated in place. They're trying to
Copy
get him.
that. Dropped a couple of stragglers. Looks like the rest of them
Mike,
now.
you good back there? You have someone? Casualties over.
Copy, I'm coming up to you. We couldn't move him. He's up, able to move.
I'm working bottom up.
Treated him enough to where he could get up and move.
Alpha, this is Delta bearing 168, cresting the hill right to left about 400 meters.
Okay.
Take care of it. Although 1-4 might got screwed.
What?
1-4 might got screwed.
Alright, thanks.
Yeah, he's up enough to move anyway.
If you can get him back up here. Stay here. I'm gonna check eyes.
Delta shifted northwest guys on these shots.
Well, 4 copies.
And there's more IDF behind us on the trench.
One Mike, casualty is up.
Do you have IDF land up? Is what you're saying?
It was back behind us.
Over. 1-4, this is Alpha. 1-3 is asked us to cover their south while they move. Good copy.
Delta's moving up here with Bravo time now.
Like HQ was saying 6 to 8 mortar pits in the O. Seems like a lot. More than 2. Right under a gaggle. I think it's too short of a murder.
One mile council over.